Hey guys, hey, it's Kevin from the Potency Project, and today I want to talk about independence versus dependence. Now, independence and dependence are the two opposite sides of mental health. If you're mentally unhealthy, there's so many things that describe what that is. That a lot of times confuses us and just takes us down this never-ending path of little things to work on. And I've been down that path and I've been trying to figure it out. And if we get to the root of the problem, the underlying principle, then that is what we really need to get to. And then if you fix that, then it fixes everything. As opposed to you're trying to fix these symptoms of mental health, being mentally unhealthy. And in the same way, what is mental health, you need to find the overlying principle that defines what it is to be mentally healthy instead of the symptoms of being mentally healthy, and just finding all these little tiny things that for some reason aren't working. So just like everyone else, I've had my own mental health issues. And I thought I had it kind of all figured out, but for some reason I was still having these mental health issues. Like, I knew what the problem was, I was very self-aware, but I didn't know why I was still, why I couldn't fix it. And I was trying to fix it, but I couldn't until I figured out dependence and independence. So basically, being mentally unhealthy is dependence, and being mentally healthy is independence. Now, those two terms have many synonyms, so you probably heard, or you could use a different term for independence or dependence, and it'll be the same. So I don't want those terms to confuse you, or I want you to use a different term that helps you better connect to the meaning of it for you. So a few words that are synonyms for independence are freedom, liberty, self-reliance. And then a few words that are synonyms for dependence are addiction, habits, needing something from someone or something to make you feel a certain way, or for just any need that you would have is dependence. I would suggest that you even find a term that you really connect to. So go look up synonyms for independence, or maybe you think of one right now, or dependence, and you just connect better to that and just use that instead of independence. But I really like dependence and independence, but sometimes freedom works better. Sometimes being reliant on someone or something works better than dependence. So anyways, use whatever term works best for you. Now let's define these things. And we'll talk about one compared to the other in a different video and really hone in and break down on what they are individually, because they're just their own topics in general. If you're having mental health issues, no matter what it is, whether it's anxiety, depression, you're just not happy, it's all going to come down to you're dependent on something or someone for some of your needs. So let's say that you're having anxiety. Now, there's a lot of mental health issues or negative emotions or negative manifestations that we can talk about. So we can talk about, being jealous, having anxiety, being angry, being hateful, any of the negative emotions that is going to cause your mental health issues. So dependence is the reason for all of it. And then it goes deeper. But essentially, you have these needs, and they are Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And we can put that up here. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, at the lowest form, is your physiological needs. Now, if you're dependent on something or someone for your physiological needs, then you're dependent. And if you're going to lose, whether it's a someone or something, you're gonna feel negative emotions. Maybe it is your security needs. Maybe it's your social needs. So anytime you have needs outside of yourself, whether it's somebody, a group of people, or society, or it's something like a substance that you depend on, are reliant on to fill those needs, you're gonna have mental health issues. Now, it's no problem, generally, when those needs are being met by those people, by that person, by that substance. When your needs are being met and you're dependent, everything is good. It's, just think of just anybody, you, me, it's just anybody. When our needs are being met, but we're mentally unhealthy, we're happy, we're good. The issue comes about when we lose that person, that thing, or we are just fearful, or we think we might lose that thing. We don't lose it, but we think we might lose it, or there's the chance of losing it in the future, and then we start to have anxiety about that. That's the issue, when you have your needs being met, or you need your needs to be met by something outside of yourself. And then independence is the opposite of that. You have these Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and all of those needs are met by you. You don't need anyone outside of yourself to fulfill those needs. When you are dependent on someone else or something for your needs, you will fear, generally fear losing them or that thing, but if it's a person or other people in general, just society, you will fear their opinions of you. If they have a negative opinion of you, that'll be like you losing them. You just fear losing what you're dependent on, whether it's a substance or people, and that manifests in different ways. And one way is their opinion. You need their opinion to be good about you. That is one manifestation of why people have anxiety, social anxiety. Or if maybe you depend on one person, maybe you're this really bubbly extrovert, but you have mental health issues, because that's the situation. Everyone has mental health issues. Maybe it's not society that you're dependent upon. Maybe it's one person. Generally it's our parents, and it also could be a parent-like figure, but otherwise it could be your relationships, the opposite sex relationship, where it's a sexual relationship, or a romantic relationship, which is the same, but or it could be your friends. So you could fear their opinions, and that gives you anxiety. So when you have needs outside of yourself that you need to be met, that's when we're going to have mental health issues. And the opposite of that is independence, is when you have no needs, that you need other people or some other thing to be met. You are fully whole, you're fully self-reliant, you have no needs that you need to be met. And that is being mentally healthy, or at least that's the start of mental health. We'll go into talking about how we need both of these things in order to be fully mentally healthy or mentally potent. But the first stage, or the first step, is to be independent, not to have any needs outside of yourself. And that seems really selfish and isolating, but we'll talk about how it's not, and how it's just super important. Okay guys, so I know I'm ending this abruptly, but just a quick video on dependence versus independence. I hope you liked the video. Leave comments and questions below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.